aware of that. We made that aware last night to the Park Rec and Golf Commission, but they did understand and recognize that it's, you know, the budget times are as such that we have to try to maximize and leverage the money that we do bring in for all of the projects that we have before us, and felt that given the opportunity that Observatory has with this particular grant, that it was prudent to take a step back and try to get these grant fundings and then proceed.
Councilmember Landis?
I had a couple points. I'm sorry. First of all, I think that that area of the city doesn't have great parks. And it would be really nice, since it's a heavily populated area, I'm assuming with a number of children, to have a park access there. I'm wondering if you would talk about the possible uses for the building, the residence that's currently there. Some ideas that...
Correct. The council has, and we do have a fund for restoration of those buildings, and we have been contracting just this year actually for restoration, including the new roof and painting and windows of that facility. In addition, the historical buildings on that site are being restored through volunteer help, solely volunteer help, through the Friends of Observatory at this point in time. The future use of the house location, which does present an opportunity, we believe, for some use, and that use hasn't been identified at this time. The Park Rec and Golf Commission has requested a walkthrough of that site, and we'll be reviewing that site in the upcoming months to try to present recommendations to the council on what some appropriate uses would be for that location.
Thank you.
Mr. Crane.
I would hope that one of the uses considered is rental of the home to generate income that would help do several things, pay for itself, because there's been a substantial expenditure and there will be more expenditures, would provide a presence during the night to look out for the protection that Mr. Baldwin has spoken of for facilities. And it would add a housing unit to our community, which is another way of reducing housing costs by having a few more houses. So I would hope that's considered.
What's the status of the walkway? About a year and a half ago, you came and showed us a crushed granite walkway around this. We never gained the funding for that. The
funding that we are talking about right now is for the perimeter walkway and planting that is required to meet ADA requirements to open that park up. And so this is, that $100,000 that we have budgeted is for that purpose in the park. And that's what we're asking at this point, is to hold on that expenditure and allow us another opportunity to seek grant funding for that development.
That's an insufficient amount of money for the walkway?
No, the $100,000 is more than enough. We could complete this project today. We could go out to bid and complete the project today with the $100,000. What we're saying is that the Observatory Park site and that trails are right now the only funding source that we're able to seek out, and grants that we see available to us through parks is trail development. And that's why we believe Observatory Park represents the best chance in these current times of receiving funding. And we believe, for instance, if we get this grant, that would be $50,000 less of the $100,000 that you have in the Park Development Fund that would have to be used for this development. We'd then be able to use that $50,000 for another park development project.
Councilmember Roden.
Well, I appreciate that you guys are on top of these grant opportunities, and that you're being aggressive about it, and that there's a potential benefit to the general fund if we're successful. So I want to move the recommended action and wish you good luck in the application.
One more comment, just one more comment. One idea that I heard for the use of the residence was a child care facility. And I'd like to just say that I'm in favor of that kind of use of that building as a rental by somebody who might be having a business that would serve the children of that community and be nearby and valued as a resource, you know, and protected as a result of it being a resource to that community.
I probably would disagree with that recommendation in that it's supposed to be a passive park generally with not a lot of active recreation. To me, a passive park should be one of our quieter parks. I would think that an individual residence would be less loud than a child care facility.
You have a right to your opinion.
For the time being.
Further discussion? Roll call. Oh, excuse me, public comment. No public comment. Back to the council for roll call.
Councilmember Landis.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Roden.
Yes.
Mayor Baldwin.
Yes. Are we doing fine at this point? Thank you very much. Council reports. Let's go to Councilmember Landis first.
No reports.
Councilmember.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All Cities meeting last Friday with Councilmember Thomas, and was very, very interesting, and it's going to be happening on a quarterly basis. A number of different particular topics were discussed, including giving the folks from around the county more information about what's happening at the former Masonite site, so that if an initiative is decided to be done by the developers who own the property, that other people in the county understand the basis and fiscal impacts to their communities. Also discussions about MCOG and some transportation grant funding and STIP and some other things that I don't know that I can reiterate rather quickly.
Okay, we'll go, do you have further council report?
That's all.
Let's go directly to Mr. Thomas to follow up on that.
There was the suggestion that the county, instead of the SOUPS meeting as the Air Quality Board, that be turned over to MCOG and let MCOG meet as the Air Quality Board, because there's some real advantages to that.
Oh, right. And I have another addition.
She's
I
got
have
an add-on.
one more addition. There was also discussion about appointing someone from Mendocino County through the Board of Supervisors, them making an appointment to the North Coast Water Project, is that the right acronym? That makes decisions about how certain grants are funded in our area. And interestingly enough, some very highly ranked projects haven't gotten selected because there's been no representation from Mendocino County.
Del Bar was on that. And
Well-
county projects got funded, but not city.
So, well,
Imagine.
It's true.
so, in any case, I thought that was we thought that was a good idea, and some action is being taken to that effect.
Councilmember Crane?
No report.
And I have already given my IWPC report for the evening. City Manager Chambers.
A couple brief items. One is that I referred to in my February 5 workshop as some of the actions that we were taking to reduce this current year expenditures by $200,000. And I've received some questions from employees and others as they've seen us post some vacancies and take some other actions. And I just want to clarify that we are going ahead and doing recruitments where we need to have a viable list in case we do choose to replace people, but that doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to replace people. So I have authorized some recruitments for some jobs that we may want to fill, but those will all be dependent upon evaluation as we go forward with the budget issues. And also there's been some trips that I have authorized for people to take that I told you that day that they would be just related to the stimulus or frozen. There's some trips that are related to actually us saving money on significant ways, and I have authorized those. So in case you see some expenditures or something that you question, feel free to ask me about it. But with that regard. The second thing is I received an email, I think it came out of a result possibly of Friday's meeting with Fort Bragg regarding some earmark opportunities that we should make a list with our various representatives for earmarking and